All right. Hey, thank you so much for doing this interview. First of all, I really would have had no one else to ask. So I'm going to start off by asking your name and your job title and where you work.
Perfect. My name is JC. I'm a staff attorney at Legal Aid Society of Hawaii in the Hilo branch.
Awesome. What is your work setting like?
Well, I work in an office. There's one other attorney in the office, and there's five other paralegals that work and have their own caseload.
Nice. And what is it that you do at Legal Aid, as in your duties and function for being a staff attorney?
Being a staff attorney, typically because we're on a neighbor island, the scope of our practice is very general. So it goes anywhere from doing landlord-tenant disputes to family law cases to child welfare advocacy, and even in administrative hearings in public benefits and appearing before the Housing Authority. But I concentrate primarily on family law because of the need here in East Hawaii.
Awesome. So you will typically do mostly family law, but then you could be assigned a variety of anything that you just mentioned.
That's right.
Got it. And one of the things that I know you do, and I find fascinating, is tell me about being a guardian ad litem here on the Big Island.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely the favorite part of my job. Um, there's a child welfare crisis out here in East Hawaii. We have the highest number of child welfare cases in the state, I believe, an incredible shortage of workers. But one of the ways that Legal Aid is able to help meet the needs of the community is that we're appointed as the court-appointed guardian ad litems for the children who find themselves in foster care. A guardian ad litem is mandated to represent the best interests of the children who are in foster care, and it's required to have them appointed by the Hawaii revised statutes.
That was going to actually be one of my questions: is how do children that are in need of a guardian ad litem like receive said you can't go to like purchase one. It's not that That's not how that works. So
No, children who find themselves in the custody of the state because of threat of harm or threat of neglect will automatically be appointed by the court a
got it.
guardian ad litem to represent their best interests.
Awesome. So anyone that needs one is going to be appointed one, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Excellent. All right. And then what is your favorite thing that you do at your job entirely?
definitely the guardian ad litem work, actually, which is why
Nice.
I'm so excited to talk about it. I love working with kids.
That's awesome. How many kids would you see in a month? I mean, non-COVID times. Like you would visit them, I imagine.
I do, we're required by the statute to visit them at least once every 3 months to make face-to-face contact. Granted, with COVID, it's been changed and the court is accepting FaceTime visits.
Nice.
I do try to make face-to-face visits when it's appropriate with masks and social distancing and everything. But arguably, I have about I've been fortunate to close a lot of cases lately because families have been reunified for whatever reason or children have been adopted. But I have
That's good to
about
hear.
40 to 50 children right now currently that I represent. And in any given month, I'll visit maybe 8 to 10 families.
Gotcha.
So quite a bit.
You're the only person that does the guardian ad litem work at Legal Aid, or
No,
at this
they're
branch
in
of
our
Legal Aid?
no, actually, our managing attorney also has his own caseload of guardian ad
Oh,
litem work. So
gotcha.
he has about maybe 40, 30 to 40 children right now, and it's slowly
Oh,
growing. But
okay,
I've been at
cool.
Legal Aid longer than him, so my
Yeah,
caseload is a little bit bigger.
gotcha. Thank you. What is the next? Excellent. What is your least favorite thing at your job?
I would have to say, because I primarily do family law, it's to see the ways that social issues can rip apart families, whether that's domestic
Oh,
violence, whether that's poverty, whether it's generational trauma, all of that stuff, it's one of the saddest parts of my job, because I think we're exposed a lot more to it because we helped underserved communities and folks who qualify for legal aid services. And so, yeah, I think that's the hardest part, is to see the social issues that really give our community such a hard time.
Awesome answer. I definitely, that's definitely, I just didn't think of that as being an answer of something that you would disapprove of or like not like at a position, but the actual substance material of poor interaction, or not poor interaction as much as like not being able to sufficiently help the people that are requesting it.
Mhm.
What is the most challenging duty or function that you do at Legal Aid?
I think for me, it would be learning how to interact with folks, with families who have experienced trauma. I mean, a lot of them are DV survivors. A lot of the children have witnessed domestic violence or experienced abuse themselves. And that was a part of the job that I definitely didn't anticipate running into.
What are some of the ways that you have overcome that
A lot
those
of
challenges in instances?
I think it's the training. Legal Aid is pretty supportive of us going to a lot of different trainings on trauma-informed lawyering,
Oh, nice.
how to avoid um, trauma through our clients. You know, in hearing about their trauma, we can, it's called secondary trauma. We can ourselves experience
Oh,
trauma,
yeah.
and so I think it's being mindful of that, and also learning how to interact with folks who have experienced trauma themselves, you know, learning how to ask questions, how to be observant of their body language, or know real come to identify when they're maybe experiencing some triggers, because we do have to expose, and in doing meaningful work, we have to ask a lot of specific questions about the trauma. So asking them in a trauma informed way.
Nice. Then you're definitely seeing those challenges and meeting them. And for my next question, what approach or interventions work well with your clients?
I think I just hit that one. It's the trauma
You
informed
did.
approach to everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely, I noticed those trainings and interventions that we learn at the different trainings that are put on by the Hawaii State Coalition Against Domestic Violence, or there's the Domestic Violence Action Center on Oahu. Granted, there's a lot more, but I work so much with families that DV is the main thing. So the trainings I receive from there and the interventions that I learn from there are the most effective.
Nice. I also know that you guys receive training periodically. It's not just like, here's your like first set of training, there you go. But like there's
Mhm.
probably monthly trainings about varieties of different things so that you're constantly
Yeah.
updated. What are some of those training procedures like in the time of the pandemic? Because wouldn't they normally have been like possibly conference style, everyone meet together, but now we're all Zooming these various trainings?
Mhm. So a lot of the trainings that we went to were based on Oahu. So I travel to Oahu a few times a year for the child welfare update, where we get case law updates, and also the latest research and developments in child welfare advocacy or DV trainings. Those have all been conducted on Zoom thus far, and even the
Gotcha.
trainings that Legal Aid, because we also train the community um, in how to serve you know, our legal services for the underserved communities. All of those trainings has also been conducted at Zoom.
Nice. What are the types of clients that you help? So definitely family
We,
law.
yeah, I mean, we help a lot of yeah, a lot of families. The way that you qualify for legal aid services is you have to typically qualify financially. So under 250% of the federal poverty guidelines is our general financial qualification. However, survivors of domestic violence, seniors, we have a lot of different grants that people can
Seniors.
get our services. Yeah, anybody over 60,
I
we
was a
usually will.
I was very aware that you definitely helped people with divorce and domestic violence, but I didn't know that you did anything with seniors. Or what other activities do you do? I'm just not aware.
Well, I think a lot of the areas of our practice that the public might not really know is, yeah, we do a lot of seniors work. We have a seniors hotline that folks can call who are over 60 that will get directed to our special seniors division. We have some attorneys on Oahu, and here on the Big Island, we have a contract with the Hawaii County Office of Aging. And so we partner with the county to meet the needs of seniors in East Hawaii.
That's awesome. One of the questions that we've already kind of asked was, what training did you receive pre-job and on the job? And I think we did a lot of the on-the-job stuff, but what about like before you were at this job? What kind of training did you prepare yourself to be for being a staff attorney?
First lawyer job after law school. I graduated law school in 2016, and then I was a law clerk for a year, meaning that I was basically a judge's research clerk. I ran her courtroom. I handled the jury, but I wasn't a practicing attorney. That's a typical job straight out of law school. It usually lasts for only a year.
Oh,
After a year, I moved to the Big Island and I became a staff attorney here at Legal Aid. So this was really I got all my training on the job.
nice. I can hear myself in my ear. It's frustrating. That's okay. I hope it goes away. Anyway, what is my next question for you? What was the most challenging thing about your training? Oh, you've disappeared. We'll try again. Hold on. Can you hear me? Say something. No. Well, I'm going to pause the video then for a second.